Hello everyone, welcome to Sonic Generations. We're gonna play Sonic. It'll be fun, I promise. So yeah, we're gonna play some Sonic, we're just gonna chill, have a good time, just enjoy ourselves. And then once this is all done, I will have some footage captured to use in extra frames later. So that'll be good. And yeah, we'll look at some animation too while we're here, because why not? Speaking of extra frames, the rebooted 12 Principles series has just started up over on the main Extra Credits channel. The Shadow of the Colossus video went up, I don't know how long ago it will have been by the time I release this, but it's out now. So if you haven't seen that, you should go check it out, because it's pretty different than how the Shadow of the Colossus videos were here. Much more condensed, much more tightly edited, a lot higher polish in general. And the next two for Jak and Daxter and Monster Hunter are already, the scripts are written and they're in production, they're in the works. But once those are out, then we're into all new territory, all new games, new stuff. And Sonic Generations is gonna be the first one. Let's start this game up, huh? New game. Yes. Begin. You know what? Instead of analyzing animation-y stuff and taking forever to actually get going, let's just start playing. Plenty of time to talk about animation as we go. As always, forgive me, I am not an incredible player of the video games. And the Sonic series in general, I have only a passing aptitude, as you can see, only a passing aptitude with. I didn't really grow up, I was definitely on the Nintendo kid end of things growing up, so a lot of the Sega Genesis classics kind of passed me by. I played Sonic at friends' houses, but there we go. And I admit, even now, that I am not really a big fan of the Sonic games, even the good ones. Like, I enjoy this one. This one's actually quite good, and I do enjoy the early levels of some of the original classics, but I'm kind of just one of those insufferable people, maybe, I don't know. One of those people who kind of feels like even the best Sonic games are still like 80 to 85% on like done, or like 80 to 85% of a good idea. It just needs to cook a little bit longer to achieve real greatness. But that's not really the main focus of today, or the Extra Frames episode either. We're talking about animation. And, whoops. And the animation of Sonic games is kind of interesting in that it's really uneven, like the series itself, but it's not a one-to-one correlation between the quality of the Sonic game and the quality of the animation in it, because there are some pretty decent Sonic games with yay, S rank, with horrible animation, and some very bad Sonic games that are animated alright, actually. This one in particular, I think, is... The gameplay animation of Sonic Generations is quite good, I think. Like, really effective. Cutscene animation, I think, is quite weak, actually. Ah, wow, cutscenes are way louder than... cutscenes are way louder than gameplay here. I'll balance that audio out in the edit for you guys, so it doesn't deafen you.
He'll be here any second.
Hey guys, what's going on? You having a party or something?
Surprise!
Aw, you guys.
Oh yeah, cutscene animation, especially the cutscene acting and performances and such in this, are really lackluster. I mean, they're fine. It doesn't... Not every game has to look like a animated masterpiece, but the gameplay animation in this one in particular fares much better, I think. It's much more successful. And animators of Sonic games are already kind of at a disadvantage just from the fact that a lot of times the characters' proportions and their design is not super animation friendly. I think I've talked about this a little bit before. I guess I just probably alluded to it in the Tracer episode when we were looking at Amy poses. But there are lots of aspects of Sonic character design that would be difficult for an animator to deal with. Huge feet, huge hands, face and eye designs that are like visually, like as shapes, interesting, but would be kind of difficult to work with to like get a wide variety of expressions from. Anyway. Can never decide if I should talk over cutscenes or let you guys actually watch them when they happen.
Where am I?
I do really like the look of this, I mean, we can only really see this chunk of it right now, but I like the look of the sort of overworld map view. That's all like sort of all color drained from it until you beat levels, in which case the color fills in. Like I'm a sucker for that kind of thing in games like this, or in any game where the world has fallen into ruin in some way, and you have to like bring color back to it or life back to it, like Okami, that kind of thing. I am a total sucker for that kind of stuff. Any game that has you play the game and beat levels and progress in order to make a place more beautiful or look better or be restored. Yeah, that's that's right up my alley. Going so fast. So fast, you guys. Oops. Bad. Slow slide. Oh boy. I will hand it to Sonic Generations though, for all the unevenness of the Sonic series, especially the 3D ones. Sonic Generations does a fine job of containing both 2D and 3D Sonic gameplay that feels pretty good in most cases. Some levels are not as successful as others, but whoa. Games like this are the ones where it's easiest to see why the Sonic games are beloved, or have been beloved in the past. Here we go, duck, yes, successfully did. Did things. Achievement unlocked, did thing correctly. For once. Whoa, come on now, get Sonic. Ah, bad. Take that, crabs. I will show you to slow down my forward momentum. Having to slow motion slide underneath a wall like that is the worst kind of punishment. Yeah! Go fast! Woo! I gotta admit, Sonic Generations is a pretty good time. All Sonic games seem to be the most fun early on. Welcome back, Tails.
Thanks, Sonic. I thought I was dead, floating without a body in a black limbo. Ugh, I'm gonna have nightmares for weeks.
Is it me, or is that place we were just in awfully familiar?
Not to me, but this place looks like something sucked all the life and color out of it. Totally strange.
No stranger than rescuing genies in magic books or
Something I've never quite understood with Sonic character animation, especially in cutscenes and stuff like that, is why, with such stylized designs, the animation is very contained and non-stylized.
Wow, you weren't kidding when you said soon. I thought you already left.
Like, they got some really cartoony looking characters here. Seems like they could do a... Really seems like they could do a Jak and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank exaggerated cartoony animation style with them, and it would look pretty entertaining. But instead, whenever these characters act, it just kind of looks like that mascot suit style performance stuff I've talked about before, where it looks like a normal person acting inside of a clunky suit with a face that doesn't express much and just really broad gestures. Ha! I didn't know you could stand on top of the lettering. That's fun. Anyway, I'll stop complaining and progress. Tails wants my attention though. Let's see what he wants.
Wow.
Boy, that talking cycle. Tails, mime like you're talking. Good job. I don't want to pick on this too much. Like, I know that I don't have to be a Sonic fan to appreciate things that it does well. And actually some of this gameplay stuff, and I'll probably talk about it later, maybe in the next episode, just because when I've got a little bit more room unlocked to run here, but some of their like gameplay, running and jumping, just basic functional gameplay animation stuff is actually really great. So definitely want to give credit where credit is due. But anyway, let's do another level, huh? Let's do it as classic Sonic. Yes. Yes. Okay, here we go. Yeah. And I will also say, even as somebody who is not a fan of the Sonic games, Sonic game music is just the best. It is so good. Like, every Sonic game has at least one or two tracks that are just awesome. Some of the earlier ones are just packed with great stuff. Take that, bee. What are you doing in a chemical plant anyway? Do chemical plants have bee problems? Woo! Sorry if my voice sounds a little bit tired, by the way. I just finished one of our Extra History live Patreon supporter Q&As with James and Sean Kiner and Heather, and I think Lil was in chat. But anyway, I've been talking for about an hour and a half, and my voice is a little worn out. And I have to record Dark Souls after this, so you will get to hear the whole progression of my exhausted voice. Maybe not in order, but you'll hear it. I'll have to look more closely at some of the differences in the animation between classic Sonic and modern Sonic 2, because they do definitely feel different the way they move. And 3D classic Sonic is pretty adorable still. Alright, one more to wrap up this episode. Chemical plant in the modern day. Let's do this! Gotta go something. Whoa. I think a large part of the reason I start getting very bad at Sonic games the further into them I get, and you will probably see this in later episodes, is that especially in games where they make it feel really good to be going fast, and they make it feel very good going fast in this one. You really don't want to have to slow down. Going fast is kind of its own reward, and since mid to late game Sonic level design often emphasizes more platforming rather than just running very quickly. More time spent doing stuff like this, which Sonic is not quite designed to move in a way that I don't know, the way Sonic moves does not make it super easy to platform like this. If you're just wanting to go fast, you probably try to rush through it, which means you hit all of the obstacles, which is what I'll probably be doing in later episodes. That is kind of the Sonic game problem, isn't it? Platformer that's about speed. If it focuses too much on trying to be a platformer, then you kind of lose that fun sensation of speed. Focus too much on the speed, and it's impossible to function as a platformer. I'm kind of the opinion that, and this is hardly an original insight or observation, so like I'm not saying anything new here, but I'm definitely more of the opinion that Sonic games should be more about momentum than speed, like hitting a speed that is pretty fast and keeping it going without getting slowed down by anything. And hang on, I'm playing really badly here. One moment, let me get past the underwater chemical bee. Success. Yes, the hang on, let me get some air. Get some air. Well, at least we got to see the drowning animation. I'm sure that'll come in handy. Boy, I'm already playing pretty badly here. I apologize. I think the game that feels the most like what I would want a Sonic game to play like is probably Rayman Origins and Rayman Legends, because in those games you don't move nearly as fast as you do in Sonic Generations, but those are very much designed around maintaining your speed and kind of seamlessly navigating a level without getting slowed down by obstacles or enemies or anything else. And it's you don't move as fast as you do in this, but because you're never getting slowed down, if you play well, it feels like you're moving fast still. It feels rewarding in a similar way. I feel like that's the sort of design that I would love to see Sonic games embrace, rather than just emphasizing pure, raw, uncontrollable speed all the time. Or sacrificing the speed thing entirely to be about precision platforming, which Sonic does not control in a way that supports. Bad sentence, but you know what I mean. What am I doing? Aside from everything wrong. Ah! Ah! Sonic, I know this is all my fault, but I'm gonna blame you. Alright, here we go. Speed! Yes! Feels good. Not my best run. That's okay. Well, I guess technically my best run in this playthrough, but yeah, solid B. Average. Hurrah for mediocrity.
Sonic!
Tails!
This chemical plant feels familiar. I'd never forget a smell like this. And that pink water makes me really nervous for some reason.
You're right, Tails.
Yeah, these poor animators. Like, how do you animate Sonic having any facial expression other than the one that is permanently designed onto his face? Like, he's got a built-in little furrowed brow frown all the time. How do you do any other expression? Hey, Amy.
You saved me.
Those huge boots and hands, too, that just would be so unwieldy. Like on one hand, having larger hands and fingers can be useful because
Wonderful.
the face and the fingers are the most expressive parts of your body, but there is a point of diminishing returns. And it just feels like these characters are wearing this big foam We're number one fingers. And like, if you're not doing really intricate finger animation with those big hands, then it just emphasizes how clumsy and unanimated they look. So like, if you're gonna emphasize the hands in the design, you actually have to do something with them. Anyway, that's enough whining about stuff for one day. Join me next time as I whine about other stuff. And we'll talk some more about Sonic animation. In fact, we'll start talking about the run and walk cycle stuff a bit next time, because this stuff looks really nice. Anyway, next time though. Thank you folks for watching. See you soon. Sonic! Woo!